Good morning from Dave. Lots of you may remember me from my time at Britain First, where I was Crusaderman. I was the inventor of the idea, basically, introduced the idea. Paul Golding liked it straight away, and so did not so young Mr. Edge. And so I started coming in. He told me everyone, and he even said, like, every rally you're there. Well, obviously I couldn't do it in the southern counties, but I more or less agreed. I've been a member of Britain First really over 2 years even then. Excuse me. Yeah, but subsequently my loyalty and willing to risk a knife in the chest on some occasions with the MDL, and standing beside Britain First leader Paul Golding and Andrew Edge, good old baldy no teeth Edge. How are you doing, Andy? Hope the dealing's going well. I believe Spice is getting very popular in Manchester, so I heard. Yeah, you should know, you're heavily involved, and your son is too, isn't it? You're Declan. Yeah. Now, you see, hell hath no fury like a woman vexed, but, after giving you money to a allegedly far-right organisation, who's, one of the few that try to speak the truth of a certain ideology. But yeah, my reward for this was my, council house ex-video cam flasher partner, mother of my 3 kids. I won't name just now. I think it's prudence not to mention this person's name, but at least to be said, she's under half my age. Problems. Yes. Why would you do that? People ask. Well, she'd been homeless for a while. She was living at Mandy's, and she'd just recently been, introduced to the sexual world, shall we say, and she was feeling a bit, she was very quiet and shy, but she was very honest at the time, and we got together, put the past behind us, and we subsequently had an up and down relationship where we had 3 lovely kids. My kids' names are Emily and Rosie and little cute Oliver. The whole household, judging from the school reports, Oliver is the only one to have any sympathy, empathy, any consideration for his father or his plight at all. I mean, he's only 5.5, but he's a very sensitive, very bright little lad. He said in the school report, I feel sad for Dad. He's living lonely all on his own, which is pretty much right, son. Pretty much got that right. How it's been. Yes, I've been this younger woman, after initially being good-hearted, I mean, very soon later she was sending messages to men of her own age, younger men, or basically she always goes for the same type bullshit as charmers, excessive charmers who fill their head full of nonsense and lies. Oh, I'll look after you forever. I'd be nicer to you than him. Oh, really? And this is encouraged. This fulfills her need for attention, which seems eternal. Not entirely, as I say, at any point during this 12.5-year relationship, she could have. I said, do this. I said, put your name down for a house. You'll get housed before me. But I wasn't willing to just like walk out the front door of our shared tenanted accommodation, just on a whim, just because she woke up with PMT or she'd been chatted up to some other lad. I tell you what, this Paul Golding is a piece of work. He is a fake Christian, as Jayda told me recently. He had nothing when Paul Golding met Jayda. He had nothing. He was on the dole. Yeah, he was on the dole. He may drive around in an elite Land Rover now and goes picking my ex up at the house and enjoying the comforts of the corner couch, which she bought with the £10,000 I won for her. Yes, I picked the scratch card up where she won that money. I haven't benefited 1 penny, and of course, as usual, on a Facebook account, which I have been barred from even seeing for years. Yeah, I'm the dad of 3 of her kids, and she has barred me from seeing or commenting or liking any of her stuff on Facebook, because there's too many people, too many old boyfriends on there, old acquaintances. And also, she has, this is a lot more important point as far as I'm concerned, she has banned me, the natural father of her 3 lovely kids, from picking her up in the car. This is because she's in with a woman called Marie from number 40 of a certain road in Widnes, and she's She has been, basically. She's 36, 38. She takes home, for years, she's taken home men like as young as possible, basically. She's probably took home teenagers, and she has got it's known, I found out just recently, she has got a taste for hard drugs, like cocaine, spice, speed especially, I believe. This helps with her insatiable sexual need, which the kids are usually sat downstairs listening to, as my Rosie did. Yep, she heard them, they were having sex all the time, she said, disgustedly. She's never heard me and her mum have sex, ever. I mean, they do teach them this at school now, so they know how to explain things. Yeah, but Paul Golding's a piece of work. He's a fake Christian, as Jayda said to me. I hope to meet Jayda again sometime soon. She was very encouraging that we were trying with our relationship despite these issues of my partner, making false allegations, getting me pulled out of the house in handcuffs, all that Paul Golding suggested, of course, and Callum's mum, who is their solicitor. Yeah, ex-Crusader man who pinched my job, my idea, and who hopes to be a counsellor in the future, is the son of the Britain First solicitor, the same Britain First solicitor that sent my ex-partner £3,000 or £4,000 to get me out of the house, basically, to mount this bullshit VPN with her brother. Google this, please. Simon Bosworth robbery, or Simon Bosworth burglary. And it doesn't mention the details, but the official savoury bunch pointed screwdrivers at people's throats to get their Audi's keys. They always target well-off neighbourhoods, so to get two cars to wing, 2 cars to sell them. Yeah, real nice guy, this, isn't it? I've never done a robbery in my life, and I'm in my late 50s, and this guy has had a 20-year criminal career, starting off robbing mobile phones and purses, sacking off some cars, robbing off his own sister and parents, and ending up doing armed robberies. Yeah, really reliable witness, this, isn't it? PC3, hang on a minute, let's have a look. Cheshire Constabulary, yes, her best buddy, PC Bradley Field, 30367. Based at Widnes police station. I've met him, a personable guy. I've met him several occasions, and he's basically a Scouse guy, lovely fella. First, my ex allegedly had some expensive archery equipment took out my shed. I she'd previously damaged this said archery equipment, and this PC Field was attended, and I said then, well, I think it was her. She's she's been very sneaky. She's been lying for years. She's been hiding affairs and all that, and recently not hiding affairs. But anyway, went away. It was logged, and subsequently, weeks later, after I don't know, was in a hostel or something, but she said, I mentioned this Field, and she said, oh yeah, nice guy, Bradley Field. I didn't know his first name, but she did. She's got his own personal number. Well, the trouble is, I'm putting a complaint in shortly to Chief Constable. We'll only get something on tape first. So she'll be ignored. Yeah, this PC Field, although he might be a nice personal Scouse guy, with a nice little beard, and he is heavily sympathetic, shall we say, to Britain First. Callum told me that there's quite a few constables, including his lodger, who lodges in with him, paying his mother rent in Callum's house, is a PC, constable who's sympathetic, I'm told. And PC Bradley Field is either extremely naive or lazy, because if you put in, please do, if you put in now Simon Bosworth robbery, you will see 3 adult males, 1 woman, and often the bottom right hand picture, though you'd have to look it up and be careful, one of these pictures is Simon Bosworth. Simon Bosworth is my ex-partner's brother, natural brother, and she's been in stolen cars with him. I've no doubt she's shared drugs with him, and he also has received money off Britain First. Yes, I saw it on the bank statements when we went to the council together. This Simon Bosworth is a piece of work. I was the only guy, the only reason I wouldn't have said a name, man, the only reason my ex-partner got to see her brother, armed robber, burglary, car thief, etc. Joyrider brother, was because I took it all the way to County Durham in my old Subaru when I had money to spare, and I drove her all the way, and it was the only visitor he had in the very couple of years he was there. Oh well, thanks Simon, you really shown your true colours, haven't you? And he's still on probation at Runcorn, aren't you? Well, yeah, I believe you are. But Paul Golding, my God, like I said to PC Field in the police station once, over a video of me shooting his picture. You soft, fat little oaf. Paul, you are absolute prick, aren't you? I mean, you had Andrew Edge, you know, bending Lisa's ear, phoning her when I wasn't there. You had me, you were chatting to Lisa in the garden, saying, I'd really like you to come, I'll book a double room for us, you know, I really like you Lisa, I'd look after your best room, I'll help you get away from Dave, I'll set him up for jail and what have you. And I had Andrew Edge, another one, screaming down the phone at me because I objected to her going to London on her own. Basically, they definitely didn't want me there, did they? Not when they were booking a double room for first name Lima and Paul. Well, no, they didn't want the old guy who they were helping escape from. The guy who she could have escaped from at any time in the last 12 years just by, you know, going online and booking, which is very good online, and, you know, booking a housing application. She wasn't brave enough to do that because basically, you know, no one else would have her except me. I mean, she was a sweet looking smiley girl. I really struck with her. She even said a few months ago, "You're obsessed." Well, certainly at the time I met her, I probably was obsessed. I mean, I poured her with gifts, buying her first ever new trainers, first ever new trackies, giving her laptops. Yeah, a laptop just because she asked for it. You know, she was taking me out shopping every other day to TJ's, and to be honest, the little part of me didn't mind because I knew the money wouldn't last forever, and I knew she'd had fuck all. You know, she was still covered in blackheads when I met her. She was only 17 when I met her, and I was like, whatever, 36, 38, something. Yep. But Paul Golding, you know, has took her up on her thing. You know, I mean, she wants sexual freedom now. After having 3 kids, let's be honest, she probably needs a bigger one. I'm sure she's found a few already, a good few. Yes, she's been very abusive, very narcissistic abuse, and this basically copies what a mum did to her dad. You know, I won't go into it too much, but basically she had a kid to another man while she was in the relationship, and then this poor man who I've given lifts to, I've helped with the furniture, you know, helped him all over the show. Unfortunately, has been conned into bringing up a lad who's not even his genetic material. Yeah, he's that Stephen guy, that lanky daft Steve from Clockface. Sad, isn't it? Yeah, well, Paul Golding though, it's. I mean, I know exactly what this woman is. You know, I mean, she used to get her boobs out on webcam when she was 14, and there were 36 C's then, and she absolutely slim frame. You know, I've seen it. She sent these dirty messages, not just to Andrew Edge, not just to Paul Golding, you know, not just to Craig at the Crown Inn. She sent them for probably dozens and dozens of men. This is how she seeks attention, because she's very attention seeking. You know, in fact, it's understandable. She's gone, I look like a granddad compared to her. Well, there was always a big age gap. You know, she forgets that she's had 3 kids. A woman's body changes when she's had 3 kids, but she's got in with this Marie, this one, and she's into drugs. And it seems strange when, you know, when she was spending less time in the house, when she wasn't going anywhere near me, basically, she was turning her back on me all the time. Well, obviously, she was going around taking drugs, taking cocaine, like she did in London with Paul, and she was getting, you know, she can turns off the guilt then, doesn't it, if you're on speed or whatever. And you can, you know, sense it in the mood sometimes, the arrogance of cocaine, you know, like you have to do what I say. Well, I don't really. You're a slip of a girl with a bad attitude. Well, anyway, this Marie is a confirmed junkie. I'm going to report it as such very soon. You know, it's time people knew, and do a drugs test. If she's happy, she's clean, can't she? Yeah, likewise with my ex. You know, the weight just fell off her towards. She'd already more or less hinted, well, just make sure, don't you spoil Christmas. In other words, what'll suit me if you're gone after Christmas, which I was. The weight just fell off her. I mean, she's anorexic now. She looks horrible now to me. So, as the the dad of your kids, your partner of 12 years, ex, you look awful now. I know I look awful, my mind's just due to cigarettes and the stress off you. My age, of course. Yours is due to really drug abuse and letting Marie James lead you into something that just isn't you, love. You're too repressed to get full satisfaction out of sex. You stopped me from making you come a few times, so how are you going to do it from quickies, from guys that don't know it, shoot the load in fucking a minute? Dumbo. Anyway, if she wants to do that, that's fine, but the thing is, my kids are now having drug dealers going round. She's one of these, which I've seen several recently, these party slappers. She's got no money, she's got a nice home, a couple of kids, fast asleep in bed, so she gets on the internet and invites like men who've got money to spare, powerful men, as they say, who've got cocaine, like Ian. How you doing, Ian? We'll be out soon. And Chris, oh yes, good old Chris. Chris, I think his real name's Ian, from what was it, French Street you're from, aren't you? Yeah, and you do all these claim back schemes on these direct debits. Yeah, and you posted a picture of me and openly let this slag bag, my ex, and a fat ass mate Terry, you know, have a good go at me with abuse and everything. You thought it was very funny, didn't you? But unfortunately you forgot about your probation terms and you're in jail right now, aren't you? You're in alt course right now, aren't you, Chris? After criticising me, my car, well, you don't have a car, after criticising, you know, at my age when you've got a fucking big set of teeth, haven't you, teeth? Yeah, you have got a big set of teeth. I mean, you keep them pretty clean, to be honest. But you're basically very much like her. You know, like I said to him, well, money you're making off all these direct debit scams, you could afford a car, but way better than this tomorrow. He said, oh, I don't want a car like this. I want like an Audi Sportster. But he hasn't. He lives at home with his mum, gives cocaine away for sex, and he hasn't got a pot to piss in. He's got even less than me, and that's not a lot. Well, anyway, but please, if you're Brit or an American or Canadian, bear in mind what this. Well, I blame him more than her actually, because I know what she's like. I know, given half a chance, you know, she wanted to start opening her legs for men, but with the help of trying to emulate Marie and PC Fields and Paul Goldings and Callums and I mean, these guys aren't trying to help anyone but themselves. As Jayda said, they'll do anything they'll do anything to anybody if it furthers their motives, because basically they're of Jewish stock. And I'm not don't want to pick that. There's one thing my father did say, is a certain group of people have a tendency to be very devious and very good in business. Well, Golding is not a Christian, Hindu or Islamic name. It is a Jewish name. Just like Golding, Goldberg, Shaw, there's loads of them. But Goldston, Goldstein, Goldberg, like the banks, what have you, are all Jewish-based names. It might not, I'm not saying he is now, but I certainly don't believe he's a Christian either. He said to me when I was criticising him, he said, oh, me and Paul will pray for you. I bet he was fucking tissing himself. This Andrew Edge isn't allowed to see his own kids because he's so violent. Yeah, he's not allowed to see any of his own kids officially, but he goes around giving, you know, duping, offering party, free cocaine, because he's a baldy oaf, a baldy gonk. That's what you're, Andrew Edge. You fucking prick, yeah. I mean, you told me a dickhead. You're the biggest dickhead going, you stop-block fucking wuss. You fucking wanker. And Paul Golding, like I said to PC Fields, if I ever see you, Paul Golding, I will spit right in your face, man. I will spit in your face. If not, something far worse. And I still mean that. And likewise with you, fucking, you really stupid little internet cocaine prostitutes. I'll probably do the same to you as well. But yeah, she's obviously not fit to look after young kids. Not when she's walking around the house with a butcher's knife, threatening me and herself back in September. No, but police don't want to mention that. Police don't want to log that, do they? No. Repeatedly they refuse to log it. Likewise, when I reported the theft of all my property because I was saying she was a cheating liar on Facebook. Yes. Yeah, oh yeah, they logged it, but this soft-soaping, stupid WPC phoned me up saying, oh no, we're not taking action. Well, you're not doing your bloody job then, are you, silly bloody bitch? Anyway, but I'm going to get recompense some other way, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll find a way. Yeah, so So basically, this is our Britain First, and that disgusting perverts, Andrew Edge and Paul Golding, do business, you see. They dupe all the people thinking, stamp of family, oh, Christian values, family values, good old England. And, you know, if you're talking to my mum or my dad, or somebody like a veteran, you know, he put his life on his line for his country. You know, he's, my God, Paul Golding is just an utter fucking scammer. I wouldn't, you know, if there's a way of getting my membership money back, and I put him in jail, and me abusive, narcissistic, you know, whore of an ex, believe me, I'd like to know it. It should be acted on immediately. I don't know. I would say to all you Canadian guys where I've got relatives, hi auntie, and these American guys where I've got distant relatives all over, I believe. You know, please don't waste your money on this gang. They're a gang of plonkers. They're a gang of absolute family wrecking, perverted, selfish. Normally I'd say go nowheres, but you know, they've actually managed to steal this organisation off beautiful Christian JaydaFransen, who's you know, even now still saying the same things he did years ago. Who's lost a house due to the Halal Food Authority corruption and the British government corruption and the greedy lawyers. Yes, greedy lawyer like your mum, Callum Doyle. Yeah, your mum's a greedy lawyer, isn't she? Just like the greedy bloody, just like the greedy Goldings. Oh, I'll see you guys. Anyway, well rid of this bloody bint, and well rid of Paul Golding as well. I would strongly suggest, as a loyal Englishman and the person that's been involved in the right wing for a couple of decades, I would strongly advise you just go with Tommy. Or just lead your own path, because every penny you give to Golding is a penny to wreck another family, so Andy and Paul can bed them. Just so they can bed them like whores. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.